Okay, the first thing you want to do when you use Blackboard Collaborate is for you to get into the chat room and or your peers or students. Obviously, you have a different link than your students. For example, here's my moderator chat for my online students. Excuse me, for me, and here's the one for my students. So I'm going to click into mine. It takes a little bit to load, and you can't see it below, but you do have a button that's going to come up, and it's going to say OK to start going, and then you're going to get a coffee cup that's going to appear at the lower bottom of your screen. That means the JavaScript's going. You're going to say run. All this is fine for your computer. Blackboard Collaborate, so it's coming up. You won't be asked, but your students or peers will be asked to give their name. I like to ask them to put last name, comma, first name, so it's alphabetized and you can quickly see it. When you get in, and I've already been here once today, all these are going to have X's like that. And so if you put your cursor here, audio permission off, you want them to be able to talk. This one is going to be so they can see each other. This one is chat down here. This one is the whiteboard. Now if you have students, you want to be careful. I don't turn this on unless I want the students to write on the whiteboard. Application sharing, this is, do you want them to be able to show their screen, for example, or not? That's something you rarely want to do with students, but certainly for adults. And then this is, you want them to be able to see the web pages you're going to put up. So for example, to do the web page, you just click here. You want to make sure that follow me is there, because for example, if I go to Blackboard and I want to go do the code to get inside Blackboard, the other people who are following you will not be able to see it unless that is on. This is going to be application sharing. If you want to share your desktop or something else, you're going to push that. And this is going to be, as it says, to do the whiteboard. Here is, if you push this, you can talk. If you unpush it, someone else can talk. You can set it so that as many as 3 or 4 people can talk, but that's for another video. Likewise, here's the camera so everyone can show it. When I'm with people, especially with students, I every once in a while will say, everybody check their box, and so they literally click the box. I do that because I want to make sure they haven't left the room. So for my AP Comparative kids, if I'm going to have a class on a snow day, about every 10 minutes I'm going to ask them to check it. Hand, the kids know they can raise their hand, give a smiley face, applause, whatever. These are useful signs. This means, for example, they went to the bathroom, and so again, you know they've done it. Over here on the right is load content, means you have a PowerPoint and you want to load it, and you can load it beforehand, and you can flip between the load and the web page. So I always like to have it loaded beforehand. This one is so you can record it, and you will then be emailed so that if someone couldn't make it, they're going to be able to do it later. If you go to the tools and you can't see tools, this is where you can start sharing your whatever you want, your screen or the entire desktop. The audio under tools is very important to go to audio setup wizard because it's going to make you go through the steps. For example, OK. It's going to ask you to do the speaker, and then it's going to play something so you can hear it, and then it's going to do the same for you to speak. And this is important not just for you, but if your students can't hear you or your peers can't hear you, that needs to be done as well. I think these are about the only things you really need to do, but what I would suggest is that if you have time, go through and start playing with these things, because you have so many cool things. For example, you can this is recording. You can put them into separate rooms if you wanted them to talk. And if you use the other link that I provided to you, you can see all these things. But right now I've given you enough to be prepared to teach a little something to your students. or in this case, your peers in the class. Thanks.